$12,580.00. That's pretty cool, right? You should not miss this chance because it could be the last time you can buy XRP coins for such a low price. Ben Lawyer, let's get to the point. John Dion's most recent study of Coinbase's plan to start regulated XRP futures contracts is more than just a review. It is a big change in XRP's long and troubled relationship with the U.S. In charge of, according to Coinbase Institutional, they self-certified XRE futures with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. They said that the product was a safe way to spend small amounts of money in one of the most liquid digital assets. The futures contract was meant to start on April 21, but that date was announced after years of unclear laws, no action from the government, and a community that wouldn't accept them. The answer we got from Back Down Dion told us a lot about how we got to this point. In his long post, he said again that Coinbase had already decided in January 2019 that XCR was not a security after an internal law review. They thought this before Coinbase met with the SEC to put the asset on the market. These lawyers are some of the most experienced securities lawyers in the cryptocurrency business. They told the agency why they were doing what they were doing and said they would go ahead with the listing unless the SEC said they didn't agree. Even though there were no warnings or worries about fines in 2019, the SEC never replied. A short time after pushing XRP as a quick and cheap way for Americans to send money to other countries, Coinbase officially added it to their list. There was clear agreement that XRP could be useful, but there was a catch. The Stocks and Exchange Commission (SEC) sued Ripple Labs in December 2020, saying that all X coins, no matter how they were bought, were not listed stocks. Devin said that the SEC knew about XRP's legal history for a long time, including the settlement it made with Fininzin in the past, and that this move was not taken in good faith. In 2015, Ripple had to list SC-SERP as a convertible virtual currency before the deal. For years, Ripple had to follow strict rules about reporting and audits. For example, they had to keep an eye on all SCC-RP sales from 2015 to 2020. What Dion called a private SEC memo may be the most damaging document about SHRP that was made by SEC lawyers in June. In 2018, Dion said that the memo did not support following the law or sending a letter telling someone to stop. Dion says that the SEC's early silence in its later case is very different from Ripple's. He thinks that the agency's silence shows that they did not think XPR was a security at the time. Coinbase and a few other sites were also caught off guard. They were running because they thought the law was clear. The action caused the price of script to go through the roof, and the community stuck together even though over 75,000 script owners joined the case as Amy Korai. In July 2023, a judge called Annalisa Torres told them that a huge win for everyone in the Bitcoin business, including Ripple, Coinbase, and small investors who had been shut out for years. Now things are different because Coinbase has asked the Commodity Futures Trading Commission for permission to sell expert futures for Dion. He said this was the end of a fight that had been going on for years. Imagine the huge waste of money, resources, and time, but we want the decision to go after XCR futures through the Commodity Futures Trading Commission instead of the SEC. It also sends a strong message by showing XCRP as a good instead of a risk, which could get big investors to spend if Coinbase wasn't sure about XRP legal status. It wouldn't miss the chance to move this offering forward. The Commodity Futures Trading Commission is also keeping an eye on it, and the U.S. government is finally starting to change how it handles VOP and maybe other digital assets as well. After a slow but steady change that was slowed down by delays, unclear rules, and cases, this is the end result. That was one part of XRP's story. This could be the start of a new one, where the token doesn't have to fight for legitimacy, but instead helps shape the direction of cryptocurrency trade, which we can control. The price chart may show the next victory, as Dion said, now that Coinbase is growing. But what everyone really wants to know is what the next step of experts' growth could be. It looks like lawyers and people who study cryptocurrencies have talked, and what they said might blow your mind. This means that the story of XRP is changing faster than ever. If you're not paying attention, the market could change in a big way again soon. The move by Coinbase could send Ripple to the moon for good. What's more important is whether the people who own SHREP will finally make big profits that will transform their lives. How things really stand in the world of money. The world has fallen apart, but loyal, sharp holders have kept one thing the same: their faith, as the Amex put it so well. But at least you have a professional who thinks that thinking is real. From an analytical point of view, this shows that people are gradually becoming more confident in the group of experts, traders. Like Steph, don't forget to look past the short-term chaos. In a tweet, he said, "It's only a matter of time until the next leg goes up." He also said that XRP is still rising